Welcome into Pressbox Live. I'm Stan the Fan Charles of Pressbox and PressboxOnline.com. With me out there in Cecil County at Fair Hill is the course builder, the man who built the cross-country course, and his name is Tyson Rementer. Let me just tell you who's sponsoring this event, in addition to the Couse Inn, everybody's favorite crab house and crab cake house. In addition to Couse Inn, we ask you what company has the expertise and technology to make your home substantially more energy efficient, comfortable, and even virus-free. That's AJ Michaels Heating and Air Conditioning in Baltimore and Annapolis at ajmichaels.com. We'll hear a little bit more about Superbook Sports during the half hour, but joining us right now from out at the course, and it's a beautiful, beautiful day today, is course builder Tyson Rementer. How are you, Tyson?
Yeah, never better. Thanks for having me.
You couldn't have picked a better spot than that. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Well, the park here at Fair Hill is about 5,000 acres, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a part of the course that isn't absolutely gorgeous. The whole place is absolutely stunning. They've done a great job year-round, mowing the grass, maintaining it, and just the old historic trees. The whole park is beautiful.
So you look like a pretty young guy. Are you in your, I'm guessing, 30 years old, roughly?
You flatter me. I'm 43 years old. I'm a father of 4.
Wow.
And yeah, I've got
now I see the wrinkles and the worry wart.
Yeah, there's a lot of age in there.
But my question is, how long have you been attached to this event, the 5-star event in Maryland? And is that the only, is this the only course that you built? I'm assuming you built many courses before.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been a full-time cross-country course builder for more than 20 years. It's really been the only job I've ever had, sort of straight out of high school and into college. I worked on horse farms, and I built cross-country jumps to pay for lessons and training and boarding my own horses. And it really developed into a full-time career, and I've been at it for about 20 years. I work on more than 20 venues throughout the United States all year long. Fair Hill is one of them. I've had a history here on the venue here at Fair Hill for more than 15 years, and I've been with the 5-star really since they began in the very beginning and started laying things out with Ian Stark several years ago.
So let me just get it straight. Ian Stark is the course designer, and I'm imagining you're the course builder. Is course designer the same as sort of the architect, and then it's his vision that you then build out? And obviously you have to have some input, because sometimes designers like design, but it's not practical. Am I right on all that?
You're 100% right. Ian Stark has, he brings his expertise from a riding and coaching standpoint. He's a multiple Olympic medal winner. He's a world champion. He's won all the big major 5-stars. He's been at the top of the game since the 80s. He told me he's been involved with more than 11 Olympic games, either riding, coaching, commentating. He's really been involved with the sport of eventing at the highest level for a very long time. What he doesn't have much experience with is nailing things together. So that's where I come in. He tells me what jumps need to go where, what shapes they need to be, and then we create each individual jump. And I've got several guys working behind me right now that are crafting one of the fences here at one of our water complexes. So Ian lays things out, tells me the size of the fences, the shapes of the fences, and then we get to work putting them all together.
All right, it's really fascinating. I know the state ponied up the money to build this course, because there was another course out there at Fair Hills already that they run the 3-star events on. How much different is a 3-star course from the 5-star course? Is it a degree of difficulty that's added to it?
Absolutely. The fences are bigger themselves. The track is longer altogether. The speed is faster. The horses are traveling at a greater speed, rate of speed. They're more highly trained and prepared horses to compete at this level. So it would be just like any other sport. We have something here at Fair Hill to offer, from your very first competition all the way up to the 5-star venue, which is pretty unique for the area to be able to do, to be able to see horses competing at all levels throughout the year, culminating in the highest level of the sport here at the 5-star level. So just like the Olympic Games, hey, a marathon is a marathon. I might run one in 4 hours, but as you can see, some guys are doing it in 2 hours now. So these are the these are the top level competitors. In marathon talk, they'd be running the 2-hour marathons.
So now you're on the course that will be used next week from Saturday. Let me ask you a question. When Maryland arranged to get this 5-star event, was where you're standing, was that a lot of trees at the time? In other words, what went into building this course?
Not in this particular location, and actually, not many trees altogether were removed.
Okay.
One small section of the course, they redirected a stream back to its natural course, or corrected it from years of erosion and roadways. But the rest of it has really been more about maintaining the existing turf. One of the great things about this park is it has, as you can see behind me, this phenomenal old growth turf, which is fantastic for horses running and jumping on. And so it was more a matter of leveling out the gaps and finding the perfect route through here, using the hills to our advantage and developing the grass. That's what takes a long time, is getting the grass grown in right so that we have a really good turf cushion for the horses to run on. And they've done a great job of it here at Fair Hill. And I think have improved the park for everybody's usage. You know, when you come out to walk your dog or ride your bike and you're out here at Fair Hill and you see the galloping lanes, they're also for you to use to walk and ride your bike and walk your dog and have a good time. So I think it's really enhanced the park overall, adding the 5-star to it, because it gets more yearly, more regular maintenance and attention.
Got to ask you this question. I'm not asking this to end the interview. And by that, I mean, it's one of the big stories from year one, when you design, when Ian designed this course. After year one, were there complaints, concerns about the finish? The last thing, it was too uphill. And as I understand it, it got revised in year two.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of events that run at this level have been running, not a lot of events, most events that have been running at the 5-star level have run for a long time. You're thinking about events like the Land Rover Kentucky 3-day event. They have been running on that park since 1978. So they've had a lot of time to figure out exactly what routes work the best for the horses and the riders. And here at Fair Hill, running the 5-star for the first time, we're still working out some of those kinks. So in year one, they felt like the course was a little too uphill. In year two, Ian felt like the course was a little too fast. Too many horses were coming in under the time. And so this year he's added a few little turns and twists into the course that'll help slow things down and make it a little bit more difficult to achieve the optimum time and make it a little bit more of a competition. So every year the course gets tweaked to a certain degree to help the horses and to challenge the riders.
Now, Ian, I've never met Ian or talked to him. Is he a world-renowned course designer, and had he played a part in any of the design of the other 6 locations of a 5-star event?
He has not. This is the first design of a 5-star, but he has won many of them, including one of the biggest events in the world is the badminton horse trials, and Ian's won it. He's got championships from there that go back to the 80s. He's the Tom Brady of 3-day eventing. I mean, he's at the twilight of his career now. He's nearly 70 years old.
Okay.
He's a phenomenal guy, but going back through the history, he's a real rider's rider. He's really entertaining and fun to watch and be around. Ian is a great guy. You get a chance, and he's very approachable and a likable guy too. You get a chance to get a hold of Ian or have something to say to him. You won't meet a nicer guy.
So yeah, I'm getting the picture from your experience, how you got into building courses, and Ian. In other words, this is almost like the way Jack Nicklaus will design a golf course. You know,
exactly.
Or
you
Tiger
can draw a lot
Woods.
of parallels.
So in other words, he takes what he sort of knows factually, degrees of difficulty. He knows how to either put them in or take them out.
Well, it's a perfect example. Behind me, we're crafting what we call the owl hole keyhole, and it's an angular jump. If you come up to it, you see the horses approach it at a bit of a funny angle, and they actually jump through a great big ring of brush. And he had sketched out a little drawing for me on the back of a cocktail napkin, and I said, Ian, how the heck am I supposed to build this thing? And he said, well, that's for you to figure out. So he comes up with the crazy ideas, and I got to come up with the way how we're going to put them all together.
Now, here's a question. There are 6 other events around the world, one of them in the United States in Kentucky. You mentioned the 3-day event. There's one in Australia, badminton, which is in the UK. The one in Germany that's in mid-June called the Lumülen.
You
The
got it.
Berkeley, which is also in the UK, then the
Yeah.
Maryland 5-star, and then the one in France, the Les Etours, I think it's pronounced. But
Yeah, you got it. Let's do it.
have you been to any of those other courses?
I haven't. I worked on the Olympic Games in 2016 in Rio de Janeiro. I got another partner on my team here who's just back here, Levi Rikewart, and he worked at badminton for a number of years out of high school. He's been based in the United States since the early 2000s. But I work primarily here in the United States, but we've worked all over the world.
All right. Can you hang in for just a second? Let me do a spot for one of our sponsors, and then we'll have a few more questions for our guest, Tyson Rementer, the cross-country course builder out at Fair Hills, the site of the upcoming event next Thursday, the 19th through the 22nd. 3 days, it's 4 days, excuse me. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And again, I want to stress, even though this is not the ad, if you're going out for one day, the cross-country event is absolutely breathtaking. It really is. It's worth the price of admission. You ought to check it out. If you've never been to a eventing event before, you should check out the 5-star event out at Fair Hills, which is in Cecil County. But right now, I got to tell you a little bit about Superbook Sports Bets. That's right. Superbook is the most trusted name in Las Vegas. And now you can use promo code StanCharles23 to score up to $250 with their first bet bonus. Win or lose, they will match your first bet up to $250 with promo code StanCharles23, all one word with no spaces. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And by the way, they have the Ravens a 4-point favorite over the Tennessee Titans. Game being played in England this Sunday morning at 9:30. We returned to talk to Tyson Rementer. Tyson, how big a deal is worrying about the weather? Once you build the course, it's totally out of your hands. But how much can weather wreak havoc or make the course dangerous for horses?
Well, we work all year long to ensure that the turf is our primary concern when you have wet weather, and the turf out here is second to none. I'd put it up to any course in the entire world. We've got great galloping here, big, long, great root structure to the ground, good drainage. So even this ground can hold a lot of rain. We had 2.5 inches of rain the other week, and it couldn't have been better. I was out pegging all the course, putting the stringing around, the galloping lanes, the spectator roping, and the course was fantastic. But it's good turf, makes good, safe cross-country courses, and we have that here at Fair Hill and Spades. So it's an outdoor sport. Again, these horses are trained at the very highest level. They've been at it for years and years to get to this level, and they've competed under all types of conditions. So no matter what comes their way on Saturday, these horses and riders, they're ready for it.
It's fascinating. I come from more of a traditional horse racing, thoroughbred horse racing background. I mean, I was a racetrack degenerate in my teens.
All right.
But does a racetrack, a turf course like at Pimlico or Laurel, and you say now you've got drainage under there? I would have thought that it was only natural drainage. So they put a drainage system into a cross-country course?
No, now the first half of our course runs partially onto the turf course here at Fair Hill, which is on the other side of the property, and then it links up with the old turf of the Fair Hill park.
Okay.
But the areas that were holding water or weren't sloped properly, they've all been graded so that they shed water slowly. They accept the water. So although the entire track isn't prepared with drainage underneath, drainage in every specific part of the course is taken into consideration. And really, it's good grass growth that gives you the best going. We're very fortunate here that we have fantastic topsoil, and like I said, this good old turf that the guys from Rupert Landscaping Company maintain year round, and it really does make a huge difference. Some horses Some horses don't mind the wet weather. Some horses are
Yep.
better on hard, just like in racing. You'll
Just like
find
in
horses that,
thoroughbred horse racing. Yep.
yeah, absolutely. Some horses are going to jump better off of different surfaces, but we have such a premier surface here at Fair Hill with this old turf that I think you find it really hard to complain. Like I said, last year we had trouble. The track was almost too fast. We had horses really. We had a very high percentage of horses coming in under the time, and that's just a signal of the quality of the turf that we have here. And like I said, good turf makes for safe jumping. So that's what we've got here at Fair Hill.
The job of putting drainage in certain areas, is that fault of the builder?
No, most of that work has all been done in the beginning, in the initial excavation of the course several years ago. You're going back to 2018 and that sort of thing. I'm primarily concerned with the construction of each individual fence. We have roughly 40 fences, what we call fences, cross-country obstacles on the course. Ones like the obstacle that I'm situated at now have direct routes, and then several slower alternative routes. So that's primarily my concern, is constructing the big fences, where they go, and then overseeing that the grass is growing and that the new areas of the track are all coming in throughout the year.
When the race takes place, the cross country day on Saturday, are
Mhm.
you with Ian Stark watching the race? And do you
No,
watch it? Do you watch
My
it on
team is
TV?
out on course, so that we provide repair to fences. Some of the fences, like the one that I'm here at now,
Right.
which is one of the water obstacles on the course. Although the horses won't get their feet wet here, they jump across this fence. It's called a great big corner fence, is what we call it. It's like jumping the corner of a fence line. And
Gotcha.
so this fence is actually outfitted with a safety device called frangible fences here. These clips can break away, and it allows the rail to fall and get out of the way of the horses if something were to happen or they jump from a
Yep.
tricky little spot. And then my crew would be here to reassemble the fences, put them back up so they're ready for the next horses to go. And if anything like that happens, or if it's raining and we need to add gravel or grit or something to make the takeoffs or the landings a little safer, my crew handles that as well.
So you are out on the course all day.
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
From the first horse to the last horse, we make sure they all get home safe, and then we're here for about a week or so afterwards, packing everything up and returning the park back to its natural state.
And is Ian out with you, or is he just sort of watching it from afar?
Yeah, there's a control room down by the control center, and it has videos and cameras on every single fence, so that he and the ground jury, the group of judges or referees, so to speak, they're all there. They can watch every single fence be jumped via closed circuit television.
I was going to ask you, when we started the interview, you said it was your first job out of college, right?
Yeah, that's right. Or in college, I was equine. I was studying equine science.
That's what I was going to ask you. What were you taking in college?
Yeah, I went to Delaware Valley College. I was they had a Division II wrestling team, and I was into wrestling and horses. And so I went to Delaware Valley College to do both of those things, and the horses just took over big time. I met a woman named Jane Corey, who ran a farm in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and I went to work for her, and I really found my niche there. And being around the horses and riding and competing and building jumps and doing all of that, it was just it was meant to be, and that's where I ended up.
Do you still ride at all?
No, I really don't. I have a young one of my 8-year-old, one of my sons, my 8-year-old. He's really taken a liking to horses, but I don't know if you know this, but horses are kind of an expensive hobby. So I'm not trying to encourage him to do this in any way. Yeah.
You seem like
I tell him stick to soccer.
You that's where you make the money, is in soccer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
you seem like you're really happy when you're out there on the course. I know that's a corny question, but you really love what you do. It comes across.
That's right. Somewhere I read, do what you love and you won't work a day in your life. So I try to follow that.
That's exactly right. Tyson Rementer, he is the cross-country course builder at Fair Hills. The event is coming up. It's a 4-day event. It's Thursday the 19th, Friday the 20th. Cross-country day is the 21st, and then the last day of show. What's that called? Show jumping on the last day?
That's right. Yeah, 3-day eventing is based on military training. And so dressage shows that the horses are, obedient and highly trained. The
Right.
cross-country phase shows that they are brave and willing to take on anything in front of them. And then the show jumping, the final phase, shows that the horses are no worse for the wear from their days of exertion, and they can still jump over the colored poles in the show jumping arena.
So there's really a method to the sequence of days. In other words, you would never call it the same thing if you did the cross country the last day.
Yeah, that's right. It has an order to it, just like in triathlon or in gymnastics.
gotcha.
There's an order to the category of which they do each specific event. And this specific event is based, like I said, in military training, and that's how it got its roots. And that's what these horses are sort of the best of the best that horses have to offer. Horses are, obviously unbelievably athletic, and eventing really showcases their athleticism like no other sport.
All right. Looking forward to it. I'll be out of cross country. If I wave to you, you'll say hello, I hope. All right.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. Come and say hi. We'll show you around.
All right. Tyson Rementer, again, he's the cross country course builder at Fair Hills, getting ready for the 5-star event coming up for 4 days. Again, dressage on Thursday, dressage on Friday, the big cross country on Saturday, and then the show jumping, or the show. It's like the ballet of horsing is on Sunday, right? Did I get that right?
More or less. The dressage is more like the ballet. That's in the beginning. Cross country, show jumping. That's the very end. That's the
show
colored
jumping's at the end.
And the show jumping all happens in an arena, which is nice because you can sit down, have a few cocktails, have something to eat, and watch the culmination, the big grand finale at the end.
Are you sensing how this event is building each year, how it's growing?
Oh, 100%. Each year. I mean, I know that we're only in our 3rd year. We had the first year, which was coming hot on the heels of COVID. The second year,
Yep.
I couldn't believe the turnout that we had for spectators. We got our fingers crossed for great weather this year, and already the atmosphere around here, there's more tents going up. There's more activities and things being planned outside of the horses, and we're really excited this year for another great event. It's going to be bigger and better than ever.
They really got some great food out there, great shopping.
Yeah, 100%.
High-end shopping too. It's really fascinating. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing you now, especially now that the Orioles are out of the running in baseball. I can dedicate some time to this. I'll look forward to seeing you out there, Tyson.
No, we can still root for the Phillies.
They're playing tonight at 8:00.
There you go.
Okay. Go Phillies. Go Phillies.
All right.
All right. There you go. That's Tyson Rementer. And I'll just tell you, after Tyson waves goodbye, I'll tell you a little bit about the Couse Inn. And the Couse Inn is located at 4100 North Point Boulevard. I know Tyson probably loved crabs, but the Couse Inn's got great steamed crabs, great crab cakes, great crab soup, and specials up the wazoo every weekday at the Couse Inn. They've only been there for like 52 years at the Couse Inn, 4100 North Point Boulevard. I love the place. Luke and Ross and we had Ross's family. We had dinner there Sunday night. Am I still on? There I am. I apologize. I hit something wrong. Anyway, the Couse Inn, 4100 North Point Boulevard. Tell them Stan the Fan sent you, and they'll treat you real good. I promise you there. Bye.